Hi guys, my name is Wendy Speaks and welcome to my YouTube channel. 1 year ago, I posted my very first video on YouTube. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, literally. I didn't have the perfect camera. I didn't have the perfect lighting. I didn't have the perfect ideas. In fact, I didn't even have anything figured out. But I just knew that I needed to start. I just knew that I had to start. And now, 1 year later, as my birthday approaches and my YouTube channel officially turns 1, drum rolls please. I've been reflecting on the journey and I've realized that I've learned so much. Not just about YouTube, but about myself. So here are 10 things 1 year of being a YouTuber has taught me. Number 1, you don't have to be ready to start. I think this is probably the biggest lesson for me because I learned the hard way. I used to think that before I could start something big, I needed to be ready. I had to wait till I'm ready, till I have the perfect ideas, till I have the perfect camera, the perfect equipment, the perfect tools. But I realized that you don't start by waiting. You start by starting. You just have to start. If you keep waiting for perfection, perfection will never come. You get perfect by learning. You get perfect by starting. And this is one of the mistakes that many people make. Some people say, oh, I want to become a YouTuber. I want to start creating content on YouTube, but I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm still waiting till I get a new phone. I need to get a new phone. I need to get an iPhone. I know people that started creating content with an Android. They started creating content with Android phones. And yeah, it wasn't so good as an iPhone, but still, they started there. And along the line, an iPhone came and they upgraded their content. So if you keep waiting for the perfect equipment, the perfect tools, the perfect phone, I was using an iPhone 12 when I started creating content with 64 gig 64 gigabyte RAM, and the phone was already full, and sometimes I'm creating content and they're telling me storage filled up. I have to start deleting things over and over again just to make ends meet. But now I'm currently using a phone with a 256 gigabytes. This happened because I decided to start. If I had just waited and said, oh, let me wait till I get a phone with a larger space or a larger memory, I'll continue waiting till today. So people need to understand that you just have to start. Number 2, stop waiting for perfection. This one is especially personal because I can be a perfectionist. Sometimes before creating content, I would overthink it. I would think, oh, is my makeup perfect? Do I look good? Do I look okay? Okay, how is the editing? How is the lighting? How is this? How is that? And I'm overthinking every single thing. Now, I'm not saying it is not good to be perfect. Of course, your content should look good. Your content should be perfect. But when you keep waiting for perfection, when you keep waiting for everything to be perfect and outstanding, you might never create content. If you keep waiting till everything is perfect, you might never start. So start where you are. Start where you are. You become perfect through process. You become perfect as you keep going. Sometimes I would finish creating content and I'm looking at the content. I'm like, this happened here. This happened here. I didn't get this right. I didn't get this right. And I never post that content. And that's how I don't make that impact. Maybe that content was designated for a special person. And that's how I don't post that content. A content that is not posted does not impact anybody. It doesn't. Number 3, your voice takes time to develop. When I started creating content, I was still figuring out what kind of creator I wanted to be. And I think that's okay. Some people think that, oh, I have to know what I want to do. I have to know exactly the kind of creator I want to be before I go into creating content. I think it's okay to know and understand that you can discover your voice while creating content. As you write, speak, talk, experiment, you begin to know what feels more like you. You begin to understand what resonates with you the most, and you begin to find your voice. So it's okay to start creating content, and along the line, you discover your voice. Number four, not every video will go viral, and that's okay. Content creators need to learn this, so if not, ige be kokwa. I'm telling you the truth. I learned this the hard way. Many times people create content and the only thing on their mind is, oh, I want this content to grow my views. I want it to go viral. I want it to blow up. I want this to do this. I want it to do that. But we should be fine with the content not getting as much views as we expect. I learned this the hard way. When I started creating content, I used to think, oh, every content I create should go viral. Every content should blow up. Every content should get at least 1,000 views. But then at some point, I began to understand that views are not my identity. I'm creating those contents for impact and not merely for views. So even if it doesn't have as much views that I expect it to have, the impact that it has on the one person that viewed it, it's enough for me. There are some videos that I made and it even gets up to 100 views. But yet I saw a comment under the post that says, oh, thank you for sharing this. I really needed to hear it. And for me, that is fine. That's absolutely fine. One comment, one thoughtful comment shows impact more than hundreds of views. And this is something that content creators must learn. It's not just about the views. No matter how much you hashtag TikTok viral, blow this up, do this, do that, do this, FYP, and all of that. If the content doesn't want to go viral, it's not go viral. And there's nothing you can do about it. It depends on the algorithm. So we must be fine with knowing that our content is making impact and not just numbers. We must understand that you can spend 5 hours creating a content and at the end of the day, it gets very few views. And then you just pick up your phone one day and you make a random video, and that video is the one that blows up. It's the algorithm. It's not about you. It doesn't mean that you are a bad content creator. It doesn't mean you failed at content creating. It's just the algorithm. And we must be fine with that. 5, you have to keep showing up even when no one is watching. And this is the least glamorous part of content creation. Many people love the views, they love when everyone is watching. But what happens when nobody is watching? When it feels like you are talking to yourself? When I started content creation, there were times where I began to question myself. Am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Is there something I'm not doing right? Because it felt like I was just talking to myself. I just set up camera and I'm talking to myself. No one is watching. But I had to believe in what I was doing. That is the real test of content creation. How consistent can you be? That is the real test of patience. And content creation, my friend, will test your patience. And now, number 6. Your story doesn't have to be extraordinary to be valuable. When I started content creation, I used to think that I needed something extraordinary, a very unique story, an incredibly unique story for people to hear me, for people to listen to me, for people to think I'm valuable. But along the line, I realized that I don't need an incredibly unique story to stand out. I used to think there are so many content creators in the world. What unique story do I have that would make me stand out in the midst of many? But I realized that people are willing to listen to you as long as you have a story to tell. Whether it's your medical school journey, figuring out faith, figuring out purpose, navigating through life, growing into adulthood, whatever it is, as long as you are able to share that story, share your journey, people are willing to listen. There are people that are ready to hear you out as long as you have something valuable to give them. Number 7, you would outgrow your old content, and that's actually a good thing. There are contents that I look back at from when I started creating, and I'm like,
I think I should have done this better. I think I should have done this better. I think I'll do this differently. I think I'll edit this differently. I think I'll post this differently. I think I'll caption this differently. And that shows that I'm growing. I won't want to look at a content from 1 year ago and there is nothing to change. There is nothing I should do better. There is nothing I should work on. That means that there is no growth there. Growth should change you, growth should refine you. Number eight, you don't have to choose between being a creator and being a medical student or being a student at all. You can do both. This is actually a very big part of my journey. When I started creating content, I used to think that how do people even balance being a creator and being a student? I saw people do it, but I felt like it wasn't possible. Why? Because I'm in med school, in ministry, I serve, I'm involved in a lot of responsibilities here in school, and it just felt impossible to balance it all. But along the line, I realized that balance is not just doing everything all at once, it is knowing how to give grace to different aspects of your life when grace is needed. What am I trying to say? I've had seasons where ministry needed more of me. I've had seasons where academics needed more of me. I've had seasons where content creation needed more of me. There were seasons where I barely posted anything on my channel. My channel was just dormant. And why? Because I was going through a tussle in medical school. But I realized that balance is not just about putting everything together at once. It is about knowing which season you are in and how to intentionally strategize and do things in such a way that no aspect of your life is affected. Knowing which season you are in and knowing how to give yourself grace in those seasons. So, in a season where there is a lot of demand academically, you can put in so much effort academically in that season. And then when you're out of that season, you can refocus your energy on something else. That is the balance there. It's not just about putting everything together and at the end of the day, it feels like you've achieved nothing. It's about having the wisdom to put it all together in a way that not one suffers. That is the balance.
Number nine, don't underestimate the power of documenting your journey. Don't underestimate the power of documenting your journey. I think one of the reasons why I really love YouTube is because I can always look back at old older videos of myself and I can see a younger version of me doing something that I'm proud of. I'm not just creating content for people to watch. I'm also creating content to document my journey because I know that one day I would look back and I'll be able to say, see how far I've come, see where I started, and see where I am now. And that's part of the journey. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And now, number 10. I think the final thing that I would love to say for someone who is out there thinking, oh, I want to start creating videos on YouTube. I want to start content creation, but I don't know how to go about it. I would say just start. I know I've said this before, but I think it's very essential for me to re emphasize that point. Just start. Before you is not someone who is so, who has figured everything out yet. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure it all out. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing here. I'm still trying to figure out what tomorrow would look like. What do I post tomorrow? How do I go about tomorrow's content? But one thing I know is that I will just keep going. No matter how tough it gets, no matter how it seems, no matter how many people are watching, I don't care how many people are liking, I don't care how many people are subscribing. I'll just keep going. I just keep going because I know that one day I would look back and I'll be grateful that I started. I'll be grateful that my younger self decided to take this step, that my younger self decided to start this journey. It's a beautiful one. It's been an amazing journey so far, an amazing journey with 106 of you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Mind you, this is just the beginning. I can't wait for you all to see what is yet to come. The best is yet to come. My name is Wendy Speaks, and I'm a voice in my generation.